Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jarrett and Kyle here with Cluster Duck Outdoors. Just coming to you and letting you know we're going to start a new podcast and just going to kind of go over a few things we're going to be going over every week or month.
Yeah, however it goes, however we get the time to do it, I think is kind of what we've decided.
Between working and having kids,
it's a little tough.
Times
life, kids, work. That's
stretch.
Life.
That's right. Between Kyle's fishing and hunting experience and my fishing and hunting experience and just general love for guns and all things hunting, we're just going to discuss what's on our minds. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yep. And we're hoping, too, that you guys will leave some comments. If you want to hear about something, or if there's something you're interested in or something you just want to learn a little bit more about, if it's something we feel like we know pretty well, I think we can probably try to help you out with it. Like Jarrett said, there's going to be boating and hunting and fishing and guns and bows. And I mean, if it's outdoors related,
product reviews.
You might even start, we'll do product reviews. We'll do some, like when we get new product, we'll bring it in and show you guys. We'll talk about it. It'll be a vast amount of information. We're going to try to maybe even get you a little small segment out tonight. After this introduction, we're probably going to do a little something small, just a little tidbit of kind of what we're going to do here. And we're new at this. We're learning. We've already seen that we got a few things we need to figure out, but we're trying. And as it goes, we'll add, and things will get better. Like Jarrett said, if there's anything at all that you guys want to know about, let us know. We'll talk about it. We have our own list of things written down that we're going to talk about month to month, and it's kind of going to pertain to, what's going on that month. Like right now, we're ending up our hunting time.
This is right now. It's May
22nd.
22nd, May 22nd, 2025. So we've just capped off everything you can hunt in the 24-25 season. So
we just came back in from trying to get on some den and coyotes. I mean, that's kind of what we can do. We can shoot a few crows. That's about it. That's really all we've got
crows
right now.
Coyotes right now.
So we're transitioning into that, getting our boats ready,
getting
our rods and reels. We are. We're transitioning. Anyway, we are getting our boats together, getting our rods and reels together, looking at new fishing spots for the year. So we're transitioning to that. So as the summer rolls on, you'll probably hear a lot about fishing. And don't get me wrong, we're going to throw some hunting stuff in there because we think you should be preparing for hunting year round. And if you're not,
really it starts at the end of this season, should start your next season.
That's exactly right. That's how you maintain a good deer herd, and you maintain your spots that you're hunting.
And your gear's ready too.
Yeah.
So many times I would start September getting my stuff ready. I wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
It's
I'll do it
it's
next
funny.
week.
We talked about this podcast back in late December. Late December, maybe early January. We talked about doing this podcast, and we were like, we'll start around May. And then one night we called each other. We were talking, and I was like, "Hey man, it's almost May." And he was like, "Oh crap,
it's May.
Yeah, let's get some stuff going here."
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm Kyle Walker. You've seen me on a few videos. If you follow Cluster Duck, you've seen me on a few videos. And of course, y'all all know Jarrett.
But you want to recap this hunting season?
Yeah. We can recap this hunting season, and then kind of give where we're going forward from here. This month. I'll let you start that because let's start out with turkey season. That's the most recent thing. That's what everybody wants to hear about.
I had the rub this year.
Yes, you did.
I had the rub this year with turkeys that first week, tagged out the first week.
Yeah, you were done.
Those videos are up, guys. Y'all can watch it. But that was stand by.
And me myself, for the first time in 9 years, did not get on a bird.
Just had a dry spell. Right?
Had a little dry spot, and Mr. Jarrett kept rubbing it in the face. He's got
got the old wispy boy and thick one there. 10.5 and 11-inch beard, which I was pretty tickled with that.
Both birds cut off the same property too.
Yeah, same property within 5 days. I was real shocked.
Amazing.
But I mean, great turkey year. Best one I've had in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which I
was proud of you this year. I tell you, he called me. I knew always, both times it was right at that probably midday. I'd say
about 10 to 11 somewhere
anywhere
there.
in that, anywhere from 10 to noon. He was. I knew if I got that phone call, I was like, oh. And the first time my phone rang, I was standing there. I said, "Oh, Jarrett's killed one," and it was. Man, it was. I was proud of you. I'll tell you, it was quick, and I know it sucked for you. It's like, it's over, but it's also like, oh, it's over.
That's like complaining when you got money in the bank.
That's right. Yeah,
it's tough because you're tagged out. You can't really hunt anymore.
Yep.
And then you have to call everybody like, hey, you want to go hunting in the morning?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll film for you.
Let me go. I'll hold you back. Let me do something.
Yeah.
But which like I say, I'm not going to complain about tagging out in a week.
Right. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Not going to do that. But it does. There is a trade off where you just don't get to. You don't get to go. Yeah. Not like it because I like what you do too. I like to go and grind turkey season. I'm putting in some work trying to get it done.
It's like I said, both of our daughters are very close in age.
Oh yeah.
And both of us, we're experiencing they're starting to do things. They have their own extracurricular stuff going on, and it puts a little wear on you. You can go in the morning, but baby's got to be at school by so and so or whatever.
You've got to be there.
You got to do your thing. You still got to be a dad. And so this year was kind of both of our first year where we really had to throttle back a little bit.
Yeah.
We didn't get to hunt. I'm the guy who's on the weekends. I'm hunting both days. On Sunday before church, I'm hunting, and it's because we here in North Carolina, we have 9:30.
Well, yeah.
And we can't hunt
9:30, and then you can hunt during the week till what, sundown?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I believe it's sunset. It might be 30 minutes or it might be sunset. I have not checked those. I don't hunt a lot in the afternoon, to be honest with you.
Sunset. But now, like in Florida, when I lived there, I don't know now, it was till 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
You couldn't hunt past 12 o'clock.
Right. Y'all can only do morning birds.
Yeah.
Here we do have the whole day to hunt 30 minutes before sunrise till sunset or 30 minutes after. I tell you, I always go off of sunset because the bird's going in the tree by then. There's no point. If you're out there, you're looking to do something illegal anyway.
Well, really, and I don't know that they don't tree up a little bit before sunset even. It's
I believe once it gets kind of behind them trees, not really sunset, but they get behind that tree. I think they're looking to get. Yeah.
When it cools off of the evening, they're moving.
They're moving, getting on towards that tree. But then Sundays here we have 30 minutes before sunrise to 9:30, and then after 12 o'clock, just in reverence for worship and things of that matter. And there's other stipulations too, like 500 yards from a residency and all that stuff. There's a lot of stipulations. You got to be kind of careful hunting on Sundays. But that only applies to guns. So you can hunt. You can hunt with a bow or crossbow for the full day, your normal day.
How does it work with muzzle loading?
It's still a firearm. If it's considered a firearm, even with deer hunting.
Was that because now a felon can own a firearm or can't own a firearm but can own a black powder because it's not
it's a primitive weapon, they say, but it's still considered a firearm for the purpose of as it's written up in the legislation, should I say.
I got you.
But anyway, back to it. I had a rough
But you put in work. I mean, now you say that, but you could have shot Jake's.
Oh yeah, I've got some beautiful footage of some birds this year.
I'll try to drop some of that in here.
Yeah, we'll show y'all a little bit of what we got this year. But I did have opportunity on 2 toms one morning, and craziest thing, 2 birds hadn't gobbled all morning. I'd been listening to some birds across the swamp, which is normal. And the place I was hunting, a lot of times, the toms almost split. Mm-hmm. They're on the opposite side of the swamp from me, and when they fly down, half of them will come to me, half of them will go across. And sometimes they all go across, and sometimes they all come to me. I've seen it both ways. And that specific morning, I got down there, hit the hooter, boom, they're down there, normal, set up, making sure everybody's cool, everybody's where they need to be. I was like, all right, I'm set up, I'm ready, here we go. And shoot, man, about 7 o'clock, birds have been gobbling for a while. I mean, sun's up, it's well into shooting light. And I hear a bird back behind me. There's a pond, a little irrigation pond in the field. And I'm like, man, that bird sounds like he's roosted at the pond. And there's a big rise in that field, and I can't see over it. So I ease up real slow, and I just see 2 white heads out there. I'm like, oh, man, they're in the field. So I lean back down. Mind you, I haven't heard these birds all morning until then. I cut at them real hard, and they just hammered. And then it was game on. Here they come, full strut. They get in there about 70 yards, man, and there's a hedgerow right behind that hedgerow, there's another field, like 15 yards or so, I'd say.
Yeah.
And a bird over there gobbled. I guess they knew him. He had to be an absolutely dominant bird, which I can hunt that field, but there was no way to get around there. I had two toms standing there looking at me,
without blowing the
hunt.
hunt.
And as soon as them birds heard that, they come right out of strut and just went to that real, I don't like this, that,
Hennish activity.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that I see you, that little put that head, they got out of there, and that was the only opportunity on toms I had this year. And I'm to the point now where I don't necessarily want to shoot a Jake. I'm not saying it's bad to shoot a Jake. I say if you have a tag that says bearded or male turkey and you kill it, I'm not going to hold it against you whatsoever. Me personally, I'm still, I got a lot of birds. Yeah. But I still want to grow. I want to see that grow. And I know one of them Jakes I got pictures of, man, he's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bird next year.
Super Jake.
Yeah, he was a super Jake. He gobbled like a man, come right up in there gobbling.
Make sure he's going to be
right. Yeah, no doubt about it. But overall, man, me and the old 20 gauge stuck out this year. But
I got one, which I coat canned that first turkey with the 12 gauge, destroyed the breast on it, and then brought out my old trusty single shot 20 gauge, and it did great for those close shots. But no, that happened to you at LaGrange when we went to LaGrange. Had 3 different turkeys
and they're coming. They get right to that
pond. Yeah. Which and we've had them fly across ponds before, but just they were not.
I'm pretty sure it was getting in that afternoon time frame, and I think, I can't prove it, I'd have had to have eyes in the sky to be able to tell you this, but I think there was some hens on that side.
Might have been.
And I think they were like, look, my hens are here, and what I'm trying to do is get you to come on over here with my hens, and we'll hang out in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
And it just didn't work out.
Could have very well been, too. Yeah. I mean, because now they were fired up. They gobbled 50, 60 times, maybe.
Easy. Yeah, and, but those 3 birds, man.
And that's being real conservative. Could have been.
There's no telling. You lose track of it. Really. Yeah, you get in there and you're really losing track of it.
You talk to one for like an hour.
Yeah.
Get a pile of gobbles, but you have 3 different toms just.
Yeah. And we tried every method, like ease towards them, then start walking away from them, calling a little bit, stop calling at them, and they're just sitting there hammering. We're like, this is it. Soft calling. We're sitting there just digging in the leaves, anything we could do to get them to cross, and they just didn't do it.
They'd pull up to the water. They just would.
They were. If we could have seen across there, we could have.
Oh, yeah.
I think we could have made a move on them birds. Your property line extended there to the other bank.
Yeah.
And, we had talked about it. We were like, man, it's just so deep to get across here. It's just not worth it.
It's really about that deep and without waders.
Woo. Yeah, we'd have been, it's just not worth it for a turkey. And that's some stinking water down there.
Not this time of year with old danger noodles.
Yeah, no. It wasn't worth it. Yeah. You're already fighting ticks as it is, and you get in there with snakes. It's just not a good day. Yeah. But,
then we had duck season before going.
Yeah, we'll work backwards.
But you didn't go this year.
First time since I was 12 years old. I did not go duck hunting one time. I just had so much going on, and there was a couple of days I could have went.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of my holes, places that I've hunted for so many years and always have held ducks. And there was ducks in them this year, but it wasn't like it has been in the past. I heard that story from a bunch of people. I know a couple of guys specifically that, these guys kill good birds every year. And they've had a couple holes that they just weren't there. I think migration was a little funky this year, and we say that, we use that as an excuse. But I really do. I think
it's more towards the coast. I just think it was more
towards the coast. There was so many good birds at the coast, and we're starting to see something that I've noticed. I actually put eyes on a flock of them the other day. We're starting to see some whistling ducks showing up in North Carolina. And down at the coast the other day, and
one is a whistling duck.
So you got a frivolous whistling duck, which if you look him up, he's a really cool fella. Pink legs, real brown body, some gray and white in the wing area. Just a pretty duck. Long neck, kind of look like a mallard when he's flying.
I got you.
But just pretty duck. If you look, anytime you see anything coming out of Louisiana, them guys they're knocking the whistling ducks down there. Fun bird to shoot, real sporty bird. They kind of remind me of a wood duck when they come in, because they're coming in, they're doing this, and all of a sudden they're liable to flip on you or do anything crazy, like a wood duck does. Yeah, they're coming in getting it. They're real cool to see them work.
Something's crazy about wood ducks.
Oh man,
I'm not going to say they don't. Just like we was talking about earlier outside, you never have a constant in hunting.
Right.
As soon as you say something doesn't do this, they're going to
do it.
But, wood ducks, I've seen mallards, they'll come in and hover and, wood ducks, no, they're emergency landing.
Yes, they are. Drop
like
the landing gear, here
time.
we are. If you're going to shoot me, you better shoot me now.
I'm not going to say that a wood duck won't come in and hover and float it. I'm not going to say it won't happen. I'm saying I've never seen it. Every time I've seen it, it's mock Jesus, hit the water, and then mock Jesus out of there.
That's right.
Which now
makes for fun hunts, especially in little tight holes.
Oh, yeah.
Man, which I love it.
Who doesn't love a tight hole?
Yeah.
But anytime that I've really got on wood ducks, I'm either sky blasting them, which I know is bad, or I'm shooting them on the water, which I know people hate, but I don't care. Makes it easy on me.
That's right. That's not illegal. I mean, that's the funniest part. It's like
the SWAT is hot. The SWAT is hot.
The SWAT is what is hot.
Yeah.
So our migration is changing, I think. It is starting to get more coast. Like that coastline is just starting to get ate up. We're starting to see some birds. Of course, here in North Carolina, sea ducks are a big deal.
Had a big bluebill. Big bluebill.
Big graders.
Yeah. They come in this year. Really?
They were thick. Tell you something else. Some cans are starting to get around, and it's always been a rarity. We got Run at Rapids Lake. Run at Rapids Lake has always been known to hold cans. It's kind of almost like the stop point for them. It's weird. They're migrating. They get there and they're just like, "Oh, we're going to stop here." And that place has been blown to smithereens at this point. There's a bunch of guides out there now, and then there's a bunch of guys who have who've learned about it, who are hunting it on their own when they can. But the canvasbacks are starting to get in, the bluebills, the graders, bunch of sea ducks this year. Look really good on the sea ducks this year.
Which this year, off my notes, I got this is 26 woodies, just pure swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And then on one day at the coast, I had 2 teal, 2 merganser. I think there were 2. I think a hooded and a common.
Yeah.
1 redhead, a bluebill, and a shoveler.
So 5 or 6 species there.
And that's
a pretty day.
Anything compared to what we saw, because we saw pintail, black duck. They were just
the puddle ducks were unreal.
Oh yeah,
widgeon were in there thick this year. I saw a lot of cotton tops getting shot this year. Like I said, man, duck season. I think duck season was good depending on where you were this year. The swamps were the normal.
Well, around here froze hard this year.
They got to a point.
Froze hard.
They made it tough. The river. I heard a bunch of boys hunting the river when everything froze up. We got cold this year here, and I think that's another thing. These birds get here; they're coming away from that cold.
Yeah.
Everything that they've had in Canada, a lot of our birds are coming basically from the Great Lakes area. That area is really where our birds come from. When they're up there, everything freezes over. Most of the time, prior to November, they're getting their first freezes, like thick, good freezes. And those birds are coming down here. Well, as long as it stays mild here, the birds will hang out.
Yeah,
not
this year.
As soon as it gets if they can't land, well, you take for instance here on your farm, this swamp back here. No matter how much you work on this swamp, when it freezes up,
it's frozen.
It's done. The birds will fly over it, and they're going to say, "Crap, I can't land there today."
Oh yeah.
And you can go in there and bust up a hole, but it was to the point this year
That's
where you
a lot of work.
It is, and
a lot of work.
You almost need to get down there and get you some flowing water going to keep it that way if you expect to kill them. Duck season as a whole was. I didn't go this year, but like I said, I do a lot of talking with guys that hunt. Yeah, we got a little technical difficulty. Hold on 1 second.
Technical difficulty.
Everybody loves a good technical difficulty. We might cut that out. We don't know yet.
Probably not.
Who knows? You might get to see us in the dark.
Microphones are still on. That's always good.
We got to make sure we charge these too.
Now I had a good duck season. A lot of woodies. No geese. No geese.
So right there in front of my house, there's a big swamp. You know, the big swamp runs across the road right there in front of my house. The geese got in there this year. It was weird. They got in there in January.
Yeah.
And they're right now. Just yesterday, I woke up and there's 30 or 40 birds
got some laying back there.
Yeah.
They're making a little whatever you call a baby geese.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've got a couple of them back there. But as far as hunting them goes, I think I had a shot on 2 of them all season, and that was from
the September
October.
season was slow this year too. And normally,
our
cornfields. That's one thing that.
But now we had that dry. We
did. Our cornfields went to crap this year.
Yeah, I mean
we had a dry, humid.
The one in LaGrange, they planted turkey season last year.
Yep.
If you watch some of the videos, it was the one where Tiffany killed her first turkey. The corn was maybe this high.
Yeah.
That corn, they cut it, I think, December of this year.
I think that corn wound up being an insurance claim. I mean,
yeah,
we were out there trapping this year.
Trapping, and they still hadn't cut it down.
You could literally walk.
It's normally cut by what, September, October
late
at latest?
September, October, early October at latest.
December, January, it was still up.
It was. I think it wound up being an insurance claim. I mean, it was falling off what little bit it made was falling off the ears and stuff.
It never got over maybe 2 foot high.
No,
it was poor.
Well, we coyote hunted it.
Yep.
And we could see through that cornfield. If that tells you how bad it was. So we did have a rough year for crop. This year is looking fantastic. If it don't hold, I hope for the farmers' sakes it does. And,
which were all compared to last year. Last year it was April, May, and half of June was bone dry.
Yep. And we have had a wet May thus far.
Yep.
And it's been like at the right times. It's just evening shower. We had a couple of good washout days, but we needed it. It's kind of if we can go and get that corn to pick on up, and I mean not just corn, beans.
Which has kept it cooler too. It's kept everything a little bit cooler.
Yeah, we were just talking about a while ago. It's going to be 71 here tomorrow.
For Memorial Day is crazy.
Yeah, normally you're dying on Memorial Day.
Yeah, normally it's an oven. A humid oven.
Duck season for me was non-existent.
Yeah.
But like I said, I talked to a lot of guys. I'm good friends with a lot of guides down towards the coast, and they had a great season overall.
I'll tell you what I noticed this year. I'm not going to say it's never happened, but I've never noticed it before. I had bigger wood ducks coming in.
Yeah, I think that can be attested to. So we have local birds here that just stay year round.
I've got wood ducks. I can go every day and look at wood ducks on my pond.
But we have a lot of that migrating in, and I think that it was really wet up north this year, and we are having. I wonder if they're overheating or something. We're learning. We're learning. Don't worry about that.
We're ghetto.
Yeah.
We're at
worst comes to worst. We'll throw these.
We'll
throw these big lights on real quick and finish up. Yeah. But I think that's attested to. I think they had a good crop up there. Yeah. And they do a lot of dry field eating up. They got them fattened up, and we got to see some bigger birds.
I had some thick wood ducks. Yeah. Tiffany's one she killed was just big. It was a hoss.
And normally we're killing little lanky,
killing swamp rats. That's all.
Yes, we are little wet chickens.
So then that puts us at deer season.
Yeah. So deer season was deer season was cool. We do pretty well. We take a very, very, I guess you'd say, we manage our deer.
Yeah.
We're super funny about what we shoot and when we shoot it.
Yeah.
And this year, man, I saw right at the very beginning in bow season, my brother busted out one great big 18-inch wide 8-pointer, nice. And then turned right around the next day and smokes a big 10-point.
Nice.
He's done for the season for bucks.
Yeah.
And
another one of those.
Yeah. Now I got to go shoot some does with the rifle.
Yeah.
But trying to think, this past year, I don't think I shot a deer this year. I had 2 deer come in that I flipped the safety off of this past year.
You'd be picky about it. Yeah, shoot a nice deer.
Yeah. You know. I flipped the safety off and thought about it, and these deer were like borderline. Like it was like, man, if I let this deer go, and I can do that where we hunt at, we got a lot of land locked up, and I can get away with it. So
that's the trick, though. That
is the trick.
So if you do that, and like any of my plots I think the biggest plot I have
the
is
man next door is gonna kill them.
Yeah, Winterville might be 30 acres.
Yeah,
and then Walstenburg might be 40 acres, maybe.
Yeah.
So if I let them go,
the next guy's going to shoot them. And it still happens. I mean, during the rut, I tell you,
deer move.
Them deer. I killed a deer last year. I was coyote hunting one morning. I'm sitting there, sun comes up. I hear 2 somethings running behind me. I said, here comes two coyotes. And I got the call blaring. I got some old, probably cottontail distress or something playing, that morning. Yeah, I put the safety off. A doe comes busting out of the woods, and I hear a buck behind her just. I was like,
stiff legged.
Yeah. Here he comes at the hill. He's at 50 yards.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're going to see what this old 224 Valkyrie will do. I shot him right in the neck.
Oh, that's more than enough for a deer. Yeah.
Crazy thing was, killed that deer. Boy calls me. He hunts about 2 miles up the road. The morning before that, he had pictures of that deer on his camera. Yeah. That deer got on a hot doe and just walked her and walked her and walked her.
They'll do it.
They'll get out of sight, and you'll see deer that you haven't seen all year on your property.
Well, that's what I had 5. I think it was 5 just peeked over at LaGrange within 10 yards of me. They're just head-to-head fighting. They don't care. They don't care about anything but that one thing. Which that's once again, I've just had the rub this year. I praise God, not going to complain about having the rub ever.
You've had a good hunting season, like a whole.
From bow season to all the way now. I hate those stupid lights. I'm just turning outside. Don't worry about that. It's just overheating.
Yeah. So you had a heck of a season all the way around, man.
First ever deer with a bow. I got a 7-point. He's a little bit small. I shot him about 10 minutes before in the shoot light. I thought it was I've been watching a bigger buck. Thought it was him. Ended up not being him. But first ever buck I've ever had a shot on with a bow. And I've been hunting with a bow since I was 13. Now I could have took some does, but every time I've had a chance on a doe, they've had a yearling with them. I just can't bring myself to do it.
I get it.
Just can't do it. But
all hunters are just unethical idiots.
Oh yeah, no, that's why we're the worst. You
got to have a heart in order to hunt. I'll tell you that.
I can't do it.
I agree.
So I got my first ever bow kill with deer with a bow. Yeah. Nice little 7-point. Yeah. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he was pretty
deer. Then I passed on a couple of little basket rack bucks. Yeah. And then that 9-point come out at Walsenburg, and that was a good deer. That 6.5 eat. That thing was fat. I think 185 pounds. I think.
It was, and that's just
for here's great.
Yes, I'm about to say, put that in perspective.
I know it's not Iowa.
When you get when you
not talking about 200-pound does.
Yeah, you're talking about a place where I'd say the average temperature is probably 50, maybe 48 in the wintertime when it's getting good cold. I'm not gonna get me wrong. We get them cold days. We had a cold winter,
days, but now last year we didn't have maybe I'd say under 10 days that reached below freezing.
Yeah, but all those days were sometimes single digits in the mornings. I mean, they were cold, but we don't have that. We don't have that here. So our big bucks,
like
180 to 220 is
220 is a monster.
You have killed a big rat.
I know you go out like anywhere Midwest, Illinois, Iowa, all of them, you get just monsters.
Close to 300-pound deer there.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Got a great friend of mine who lives in Wisconsin, and man, he sends me the pictures, and it's wild because the actual deer, they can kill like an 18-inch. We'll just say 18-inch, 140 class 8-point, perfectly symmetrical 8-point, and his horns look small sitting on his body. He's just a big, bulky deer.
Like if you put horns on me, fat.
Yeah. He's a 20-inch. No, we don't get them like that, man. Yeah. That was a nice deer that you killed.
Yeah, I was tickled with it, which that's something, and we'll probably talk about on a later podcast, but that's social media can ruin hunting for you.
Unfortunately.
You get to looking at everything everybody else does. Oh, yeah.
We live in a different age, man. Back in the day, I would say before, we talk about this today.
You're old enough to remember it. The Polaroids at the local gas station.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
If you made that corkboard, you were the man.
You were the man, yeah.
Or the newspaper.
Oh, buddy,
everybody used to put a picture of their deer.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that's all I wanted to do.
We'd get slaughtered now for doing that.
But oh, yeah.
We live in an age, man. Back in the day, we talked about this today, actually, or maybe it's yesterday. We were talking about Fred Bear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These guys. You talk Fred Bear, the Primos boys, the Robertson, Phil. These are guys who pioneered videoing.
Oh yeah,
hunts, and unfortunately,
they did something cool and ruined everything.
Yeah, they did, and it's amazing because we learn so much. Man, golly, it's so informative to watch these guys. But at the same time, it brought about this thing where everybody's so worried. Like, look, manage your deer. It's great. But you get those tags for a reason.
You shot a $200. I would have let him walk.
At the end of
nice
the day,
first year buck.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, you get to fill out the same tag that I get to fill out.
Same tag.
If it says antler, guess what?
Antler buck.
Antlered buck.
Everything from a spike.
He's
to
antlered.
As big as you want to be is antlered.
He's antlered. Non-antlered or antlerless.
Well, that's like my mom killed a 3-point this year.
Yeah.
She's, I think, I'm not going to say her age out there, but it's the first time she's ever actually had a chance to kill one. Killed it, and immediately, first thing out of her mouth was like, it just wasn't that big of a buck. I was like, your first deer ever. Who cares?
Yeah, you're talking about a woman who has lived the majority of her life, never killed a deer.
Yeah.
And she knows.
She gets the guilt.
Like, this is, and it's bad. We have this hunter guilt.
It
goes back to
new
the
hunters,
shooting a Jake thing.
Yeah.
Shoot that freaking Jake. If you've got the tag, just because I didn't do it doesn't mean that you can't.
Guess what? Trust me, they fry the same.
They do. And hey,
I'm a reformed Jake hunter myself.
Yeah.
And I'll still shoot one now.
I shot an old bearded hen one time, and I look for a beard. If there ain't nothing but a hen in the field and I'm about to be getting up to leave, I'm looking for a beard on her.
Ain't been fighting.
No,
ain't been so riled up.
Ain't got no testosterone. Ooh, that's some good meat. And,
I wouldn't know. Yeah, some of those local youths cooked one time.
No doubt about that. But dude, from there it goes back into deer season. That's deer season was deer season, and then dove season. Dove season.
I killed one dove this year because I had my 410 that was crap.
That and our crop wasn't out this
year.
year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
It was like 5 cornfields cut around here. It was rough, and a lot of guys are hunting over tobacco patches and stuff. If you can find a power line, you can kill some birds.
Yeah. That's the one I killed. I probably had 6 fly in all morning, and the one I killed, we were on the power line when he come to us.
Yep, and it was mediocre at best. I mean, it was ugh.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, that's a real quick way to run down. I mean, we could sit here and talk all night about each and every experience of hunts. I tell you, if you don't, and me and Jared talked about this before too, at least keep some notes of your hunts or something. Yeah. Keep a journal, because one day I've learned this. And take pictures, take videos, save them somewhere.
On X hunt, the map, leave yourself notes.
God forbid it happen to anybody, but one day you're not gonna be able to remember everything. And you'll be able to look back on that and say, oh man, I forgot about this.
I made the notes for duck season this January. It's May, and I forgot I had to look it up.
Yeah. What's one thing that if today I sent you, I'm gonna ask you for and I'll answer the question too.
All right.
One thing, we'll start out with doves, and we'll wrap this thing up, kind of land this plane here. All right, dove season.
Okay.
If I told you could take your gun and one item, what is that other item? Not shells, obviously. You get your ammunition and your gun.
You get camo, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you choose so.
So camo's not guaranteed in the package.
Yeah.
What is one thing? You need camo for doves.
I'm there with you.
I don't know. That's tough, and it's going to sound stupid, but it'd either be a bottle of water or a chair. I mean, it sounds dumb, but I feel like sitting still. Especially with doves, if you sit still,
you're gonna get one to fly over.
They're gonna come in close because they're around people.
I tell you,
all the time.
Mine, I'd obviously something to drink.
Yeah,
I'll go with that. But my mojo, my dove mojo.
Yeah, I have never used them.
I have seen birds come in from across a field. And especially early in the morning when I come off the roost, and sometimes, we get those big flocks of 10, 15, 20 doves come across, and I've just seen them belly up to that mojo. It's amazing. And pigeon, we're allowed to shoot pigeon here as well in dove season. So pigeon react really cool to it. If you ever get any pigeons, it's really cool. So that's dove season.
All right. So I've got one for you.
All right.
Same thing, but different.
Okay.
So you've got your gun. What's your best piece of kit for your gun? Are you using a choke? Is it a certain kind of ammo?
So you just give me I think for doves, give me.
So just tell me your setup, Kyle. Kyle Walker, no budget setup.
No budget. Well, honestly, I probably wouldn't deter much from what I shoot now. Honestly, I shoot an old 20 gauge side by side double barrel, It's a Bakel IZH43. It's old.
So now
gun.
is it the ones with the pre-made chokes? Where
No,
one
this one
side's
has
full?
this has got thread-in chokes.
Okay.
It does have thread-in chokes. It's in the very beginning of thread-in chokes. It's
Right.
not that old, but it is an older
It's
gun.
old enough.
Yeah, it's old enough. I've had that gun forever. I've killed a many bird with it.
I got you.
It runs, so I run a modified. It has a selector for which side fires first. I run a modified in the side that fires first, and a full in the side that fires second.
So when they're trying to get away,
I got a little extra
hold it in on them. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm shooting normally 7.5 or number 8, and I really when lead whatever.
Yeah.
Just give me whatever's the cheapest that year.
A full choke and lead, man. That's
That's
a lot on the dove.
It is
that's
a lot on
the dove.
That's why I dropped down to 20 gauge. I used to shoot 12, and I went right back to my old 20 gauge, just like I was a kid again. And I love that. See, I carry my Yeti bucket.
Yeah.
With the little loadout thing around it.
Yeah.
Dude, I can put all kinds of stuff in it. Throw my birds inside of it.
Oh yeah.
Shells on the outside of it, all that. So I run my Yeti bucket and my Mojo, of course. I got to have a Mojo. And if I'm hunting near power lines, I've always got 2 fishing rods with me. Yep. And a couple old dove decoys with no plastic cheap dove decoys.
I've never used them. I've got some dove mojos somewhere around here. Never used them.
I swear, man.
Or if I have, I don't remember it.
Right.
I may have.
I love my Mojo. Maybe it could just be a placebo thing where I think it's doing something that it's not. But I've always killed over it, so I use it.
I wouldn't change it.
No, it works great
for superstition alone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's me. I'd go that route, and then I'm pretty simple. And a grill for lunch. Yeah,
getting real simple.
We do breakfast. We do breakfast and lunch on little 20-inch Blackstone. Actually, the little, it's like the half and half one, the camping edition.
When you're roughing it.
Yeah, when you're roughing it, you can't cook over the coals. You got to have gas. No, that's me, man. I'm simple when it comes to dove hunting.
Well, that's the first thing coming up, guys. Hunting wise, outside of coyotes.
That's like the opener.
Or if you have hogs,
national holiday for hunters.
Yeah, that's like 4th of July for hunters. Really,
I think really what is that? That's Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
I think Labor Day was designed.
Is
for
it
hunters.
right before? It's the weekend before
Labor Day
bow season.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's always
and now
at least
season here in this zone, in our zone that we're in North Carolina, opens that same day.
Okay.
And a lot of guys get themselves in trouble because they go out there and they're like, I'm going to bring my steel shot with me in case of goose fight. Do not be that guy and get caught with lead over a goose. I don't care if you shot him with.
That's all Green Jeans wants.
Yeah, he wants to catch
all
you.
he wants.
He's already out and about that day. You know he is. Wow, that is a big spider.
Don't worry about Fred.
Oh, all right, Fred, you hang out.
Fred?
So, next thing would be deer season. What is...
We got to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up.
Are we close?
No, let's do deer season and we'll wrap it up because it's 40 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's do a turbo round here, real quick. All right. So you get your gun, you get your camouflage, you get your essentials.
Okay.
You get your
camouflage. Yep. That's it.
All right. And then deer season, what's one item you got to have?
Thermocell.
Thermocell?
If depends on what time of the month it is. September, October here when it's still hot. Thermocell. Got to.
My one item for deer season is any kind of doe pee at all.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter to me. I run it.
Yeah.
Yep, I run it for cover and I run it for attractant.
I don't know that I wouldn't leave the Thermocell at home and take cover. So I didn't think about that. Yeah.
All right, so duck season.
Duck season, one I have to have corn.
Yeah, corn.
Nah, I don't know because I don't really like. I do dislike decoys.
Yep.
I don't know.
You got your waders, you got your gun, you got your calls.
Yeah, I really, I don't. Really, you don't need much else. I mean, really. Argue with me, tell me I'm wrong, whatever. Here in North Carolina, I've seen decoys help you.
Yep,
I've seen decoys hurt you.
Yep.
I've seen mojos draw them in. I've seen mojos flare them out.
Yep.
If I have to go without them, I'll go without them.
Yeah.
But I drink something to drink because now I have.
I'd be thirsty in the swamp.
I was saying that you get in there, you get all 250 pounds and a set of waders on us and a jacket because it's 20 degrees outside and a gun.
Start
and
blowing
carrying
smoke off your
decoys
back.
in.
Yeah.
You get in there and you've walked all that way and now you're thirsting to death because,
That's right.
So probably
mine
water
is a 3-prong tree hook. Screw-in tree hook.
Oh, hey.
I hang my bag,
Yeah,
my
that's
gun,
actually a pretty good idea.
if my calls are ever in my way or something or whatever, I throw them on there.
Yeah.
I always have a tree hook with me.
I always make a sacrifice to the tree. Some limbs getting broke.
Somebody's getting
a
hurt.
limb's getting broke.
Oh,
bless.
Get him. Yep. Here lies Fred.
Yeah. All right, last
one
turkey.
Is turkey.
I tell you what, you sold me on the fan. I don't think I'll go again without a fan.
You take my decoys away. And give me a fan.
I've seen the last turkey I killed this year. He liked the decoy. The first turkey I killed, the first set that come in, they didn't like the decoy. Why that is, I don't know.
I think we got so many freaking jakes running rampant.
I think they see so many decoys.
I think they see a lot of decoys, and I think we got so many jakes running rampant that are ganging up and beating on toms that they see any decoy that's any smaller body size than them and they freak out. But that fan is a guarantee.
It riles them up.
You are not going to corral me.
You really sold me on that.
That's been a killer for me, a consistent killer for me. And the last one, I know you don't do a ton of it, but I do a ton of it. I've coyote hunting.
Coyote hunting? You gotta have. Well, do you get your call?
You get your call's part of it.
You call your gun.
It's an essential.
I really, man, if I had the money for it, I'd get up one of those thermal scanners. That's scanning with that like this versus having to be on that tripod.
So if it makes such a difference. Standing straight up, your back
will be swole up.
So if I already have my thermal with me, because most time, I mean, I'm
right. But now that's not part of the kit, though.
Right, yeah. If I didn't, the one thing that I would have is my little mouse squeaker.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Go ahead and pull them on.
In fact, earlier we were joking. I bent over one time and it was in my pocket, and when I bent over, it went beep, beep. And I was like, oh God, that was there. But yeah, I would always have my mouse squeaker. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank y'all.
Yeah, guys,
this is kind of
our first breeze. I
mean, this is 43 minutes worth of
just us
quality
talking. But hope you guys enjoy. If you do, tell us. If you don't, tell us. We love you. We don't love you.
And remember, whatever you want to hear.
Yeah, just leave us a comment.
Yeah, we'll write it down. We've got our own notes, and maybe something you say we'll add on to what we've got written down already.
We'll try to answer it to our best. And hope you guys enjoy. We'd like to praise God for another opportunity to do what we love, and we'll see you guys later.
Have a good one.
Oi.